Life won't always be calm, but you can be. You can't control the world, but you can control your mind, and the moment you master your thoughts, every challenge becomes an opportunity. This is how Stoics live, and how you can transform your life, starting today. Today, let's explore 5 Stoic principles that can transform your life, not in theory, but in daily practice. Principles that remind you who you can become when you stop fighting the world and start mastering yourself. Principle 1. Control what you can, accept what you cannot. Most of the suffering in your life comes from trying to control things that are not yours to control. People's opinions, unexpected events, the past, the future, the behavior of others, the storms that appear without warning. Stoicism teaches a simple truth: focus only on what is within your control, your thoughts, your actions, your effort. Everything else, let it go. When you stop resisting what is outside your influence, you save your strength for what truly matters. You become calmer, clearer, more powerful. The world becomes lighter when you carry only what belongs to you. Principle 2. Choose your response, not your reaction. Life will test you. It will send challenges that push your limits, break your plans, and shake your beliefs. But the Stoic path reminds you, you are not defined by what happens to you. You are defined by how you respond. Do you react immediately with anger, frustration, fear? Or do you pause, take a breath, and choose a response that reflects your strength? Every moment gives you a choice. React impulsively like the world controls you, or respond wisely like you control yourself. Master your response, and no situation can defeat you. Principle 3. Practice discomfort. Build inner strength. Comfort makes you soft. Discomfort makes you powerful. The Stoics believe that a stronger life is built through voluntary difficulty, waking up early, training the mind, strengthening the body, controlling desires, challenging emotions, practicing discipline. When you embrace discomfort by choice, the discomfort you don't choose becomes easier to endure. Do the hard things. Not because life demands it, but because a stronger version of you is waiting on the other side. Principle 4. Be present. This moment is all you truly own. Most people live in 2 places that no longer exist: the past and the future. They replay mistakes. They predict disasters. They live everywhere except now, the only moment where life actually happens. The Stoic mindset is simple: focus on this moment. Do what you can with what you have. Live fully in the present. The past cannot be changed. The future cannot be controlled. But this moment, it is yours, completely. The person who masters the present moment masters life. Principle 5. Live by virtue. Be the person you respect. A better life is not measured by success, wealth, followers, or applause. It is measured by character, by the values you stand for, even when no one is watching. Virtue means living with courage, honesty, self-control, kindness, and integrity. It means being disciplined when excuses are easy. It means doing the right thing even when it is not the comfortable thing. The Stoics believed a person with virtue can walk through any storm with dignity. When you live by your values, you respect yourself. And when you respect yourself, life becomes better, no matter what happens around you. You cannot control everything. You cannot avoid every difficulty. You cannot prevent every challenge. But you can control your thoughts. You can master your reactions. You can build inner strength. You can stay present. And you can live by values that make life meaningful. These 5 Stoic principles are not ideas. They are tools. They are reminders. They are a path toward a better, calmer, stronger, more disciplined life. Every day practice them. Every day return to them. Every day choose the stronger version of yourself, because the person you want to become is already inside you, waiting for you to take the first step. The first Stoic principle is simple to understand but difficult to live. Control what you can and release what you cannot. Most of the emotional weight you carry does not come from life itself, but from your resistance to things that were never yours to manage in the first place. Every day you spend mental energy on the actions of others, on situations you didn't choose, on outcomes you cannot guarantee, and on events that are far outside your reach. This constant battle against reality creates stress, frustration, and disappointment. Stoicism teaches that peace begins the moment you stop trying to control the uncontrollable. Think about how much time we spend worrying about people's opinions. Someone judges you, misunderstands you, rejects you, or talks about you, and suddenly their voice becomes louder than your own. The truth is, what someone else thinks is completely outside your control. Their thoughts belong to them, not you. You can control your effort, your behavior, your values, and your character. That is where your power ends. The moment you try to control another person's mind, you step into a losing battle. Freedom begins when you understand this boundary and stop crossing it. Life will always present situations where things don't go according to your plan. A relationship ends, a job opportunity slips away, a sudden obstacle appears. These moments shake you not because of what happened, but because of your need to control something that was never yours to command. You can influence, prepare, and give your best effort, but the final outcome is not fully yours. When you understand this, you stop blaming yourself for things that were not your responsibility. You stop carrying unnecessary guilt, stress, and self-punishment. Controlling what you can is not about giving up. It is about focusing your strength where it actually matters. Your attitude, your discipline, your choices, your reactions, these are the things you own completely. No one can take them from you. You decide whether you respond with anger or patience. You decide whether you act with courage or fear. You decide how you treat others and how you speak to yourself. When you place your attention on these internal actions, life becomes clearer and your direction becomes sharper. Letting go of what you cannot control does not mean becoming passive. It means becoming strategic. It means choosing battles that strengthen you instead of draining you. It means saving your energy for the actions that are truly yours. The Stoics believe that clarity begins when you separate your world into two simple categories: what you control and what you don't. When you stay on your side of that line, peace follows naturally. This principle gives you emotional strength. When someone disrespects you, you don't lose control. You decide how to respond. When life changes suddenly, you don't break. You adjust, adapt, and move forward with calmness. When fear appears, you don't let it control you. You focus on what is in your hands right now, in this moment. Most people try to control the world and fail. Stoicism teaches you to control yourself and succeed. You reclaim your power when you stop trying to own what was never yours. You grow when you put your energy into your choices instead of circumstances. You become stronger when you accept reality as it is, and then act with purpose. This is where real freedom begins, not in changing everything around you, but in mastering everything within you. Life will always bring situations you did not choose, moments that feel unfair, unexpected, or overwhelming. You cannot stop challenges from arriving, but you can decide how you meet them. This is the heart of the second Stoic principle. You are not defined by the events of your life, you are defined by your response to them. Most people allow their emotions to take control. They react instantly, impulsively, without awareness, and later regret the damage caused by a moment of uncontrolled emotion. But every moment offers a pause, a small space between what happens and how you respond. Inside that space lives your power. Inside that space, you decide the direction of your life. When something negative happens, your first reaction is usually automatic. Anger rises, fear takes over, frustration appears. These reactions are natural, but they are not final. Stoicism teaches that your first feeling isn't the problem. Your uncontrolled reaction to that feeling is. The difference between a weak mind and a strong mind lies in the ability to pause. The pause is where wisdom begins. It is where you choose clarity over chaos, strength over impulse, and reason over emotion. In that moment, you step out of automatic reactions and into conscious control. Think about how many problems in life come from reacting too quickly. A harsh message triggers you, and you fire back instantly. A misunderstanding occurs, and you snap without listening. A stressful moment appears, and you make a decision out of panic instead of calmness. These reactions worsen situations, break relationships, and create regret that follows you long after the moment has passed. But imagine how different outcomes could be if your first instinct was to pause, breathe, and think. Imagine how much unnecessary conflict you could avoid. Imagine how much stronger you would feel if you controlled your response instead of letting circumstances control you. A Stoic response does not mean suppressing your emotions or pretending you feel nothing. It means allowing your emotions to exist without letting them drive your actions. You can feel anger without acting in anger. You can feel fear without surrendering to fear. You can feel stress without letting it dictate your choices. This is the mastery Stoicism teaches, not the removal of emotion, but the control of it. Emotion is a signal, not a command. It is information, not an order. When you learn to separate feeling from action, you unlock a level of strength most people never reach. Choosing your response is also an act of responsibility. It means accepting that you cannot blame your reactions on others. No matter what someone does, no matter how unfair or painful the situation is, your response is yours alone. This is not a burden, it is freedom. Because when you take responsibility for your reactions, you take ownership of your life. You stop being a victim of circumstances and become a creator of outcomes. You stop being pushed by the world and start guiding your own path. This principle also brings emotional resilience. When you control your response, you become harder to shake. Insults lose their power. Stress loses its grip. Difficult people cannot pull you into their chaos because you no longer mirror their behavior. You respond from strength, not weakness. In every challenging situation, ask yourself one simple question: what response reflects the person I want to be? Not the most convenient response, not the easiest response, but the strongest one. When you choose that path again and again, you build a character that cannot be broken by external events. You transform from someone who reacts to life into someone who leads life. Your emotions will always speak, but they do not have to be the ones making your decisions. The power is in your hands. Pause, think, and choose the response that makes you stronger. If you want me to expand Keynote 3 next, just tell me. Comfort is pleasant, but it slowly weakens you. Discomfort is challenging, but it builds strength, character, and resilience. This is the third Stoic principle. To grow, you must willingly choose the difficult path. Not because life forces it on you, but because greatness is born in the places most people avoid. Human nature seeks ease. It seeks the warm bed, the familiar routine, the predictable days. But the Stoics understood something deeper. Comfort feels good in the moment, but it limits you in the long run. Discomfort feels difficult, yet it prepares you for the battles you cannot escape. When you choose discomfort, you train yourself to face life with power. You learn to stay calm when challenges arise. You learn to control your emotions when pressure is high. You learn to endure when most people give up. Every difficult task you take on voluntarily becomes armor for the difficulties you cannot control. When you do hard things by choice, the hard things you didn't choose become easier to face. Think of the times you avoided discomfort. Avoiding conflict created bigger conflict. Avoiding work created stress and regret. Avoiding your fears made them grow stronger. Avoiding discipline stole opportunities from your future. Avoidance feels safe, but it erodes your inner strength. The Stoic approach is the opposite. Face discomfort on purpose, not recklessly, not impulsively, but intentionally and with discipline. The small difficulties you practice each day prepare you for the larger storms ahead. Imagine waking up earlier than you want to, training your mind before the world speaks to you, strengthening your body even when you feel tired, confronting your weaknesses instead of hiding from them. These are not punishments, they are investments. Every time you push yourself beyond your comfort zone, you expand the limits of what you believe you can endure. And when your belief grows, your life grows with it. Modern life convinces people that comfort is the goal, easy success, easy pleasure, easy routines. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. Meaningful life requires effort. Strength comes from friction. Purpose comes from challenge. Character comes from what you overcome, not what you avoid. The person who never chooses discomfort becomes controlled by it. The person who trains in discomfort becomes free. Voluntary discomfort does not have to be dramatic. It can be small, consistent actions, taking the cold shower instead of the warm one, putting the phone down when distractions tempt you, staying focused when your mind wants to wander, going for a walk instead of staying on the couch, having the difficult conversation you've been avoiding, working on your goals even when motivation fades. These actions look simple, but they shape your identity. They tell your mind, I am in control, not comfort. When you embrace discomfort, fear loses its grip. Most fear is fear of the unknown, fear of pain, fear of effort, fear of failure. But when you step into discomfort again and again, you learn that pain doesn't last forever. Effort makes you stronger, and failure teaches far more than success ever could. You stop running from life and begin walking toward it with courage. There is a unique confidence that comes from doing hard things, a quiet strength that doesn't need to be proven to anyone. It doesn't shout. It doesn't show off. It simply exists, steady and unshakable. That strength comes from discipline. Discipline comes from discomfort, and discomfort comes from the decision to challenge yourself more than the world challenges you. At the end of each day, ask yourself one question. Did I do something difficult on purpose today? If the answer is yes, you are growing. If the answer is no, you are staying the same. Growth is not accidental, it is chosen, and every choice to embrace discomfort is a step toward becoming the strongest version of yourself. Most people spend their lives trapped in places they cannot return to, or moments that have not yet arrived. They carry the weight of the past and the anxiety of the future, never realizing that both are illusions. The past is gone, permanently out of your hands, unchangeable no matter how hard you replay it. The future is unknown, unpredictable, and outside of your control, yet people let these two shadows dominate their minds. Stoicism teaches a different way. The only real moment you ever own is the present. This moment, right now, is your life. Everything else is memory or imagination. The mind has a habit of drifting, thinking about what you should have said, what you should have done, what went wrong, what might go wrong next. This constant mental time travel steals your peace. It fills your mind with noise that does nothing but distract you from what is right in front of you. When you are stuck in the past, you emotionally relive moments that no longer exist. When you are lost in the future, you suffer from problems that haven't even happened. The present moment is the doorway to clarity, but most people walk past it without ever entering. Being present does not mean forgetting the past or ignoring the future. It means not allowing them to control you. It means grounding yourself in the only reality you can actually influence, this moment. Right now, you can act. Right now, you can choose. Right now, you can think clearly. Everything that matters happens in the present, yet most people waste their lives living everywhere except here. When you anchor yourself to the present moment, life becomes simpler. You see things as they are, not as your fears or regrets paint them. A problem that felt huge becomes manageable when you focus only on the step in front of you. A challenge that seemed overwhelming becomes smaller when you deal with it piece by piece. The present breaks big obstacles into small actions. It turns chaos into clarity and anxiety into purpose. You cannot control everything that will happen in your life, but you can always control what you do right now. The Stoics understood that true strength comes from mastering the moment in front of you. If you focus on the present, you stop wasting energy on things you cannot change. You stop drowning in thoughts that add nothing to your growth. You stop allowing your mind to wander into places that weaken you. Presence also deepens your appreciation of life. When you are fully here, you notice things you usually ignore. The sound of your breath, the feeling of the air, the details of your surroundings, the expressions on people's faces, the opportunities hidden in simple moments. You connect with life instead of rushing through it. Presence turns ordinary moments into meaningful ones because you are actually experiencing them, not just passing through them. Being present also strengthens your emotional stability. Anxiety often comes from imagining negative futures. Regret comes from replaying painful pasts. But when you stay here, in the now, those emotions lose their power. The mind creates most suffering by dragging you away from the moment where your actual power lives. When you return to the present, you return to yourself. Practicing presence is a daily effort. It requires awareness. It requires reminding yourself again and again, I am here. This is the moment I control. Any time your mind drifts, gently bring it back. When fear pulls you forward, return to your breath. When regret pulls you backward, return to your senses. The present is your anchor. Use it whenever the waves of life try to shake you. Life becomes peaceful, not when everything is perfect, but when you are fully engaged in the moment you are living. You don't need to solve the entire future today. You don't need to rewrite the past. You only need to manage this moment with clarity, strength, and calmness. When you master the present, you master your life. A meaningful life is not built through comfort, luck, or external success. It is built through character, through the daily choice to live according to values you are proud of. Stoicism teaches that nothing is more important than virtue, not wealth, not fame, not status, not approval. Virtue means living in a way that you respect even when no one is watching. It means choosing honesty when lies are easier, discipline when temptation is stronger, and courage when fear is louder. A better life begins the moment you commit to becoming the kind of person you admire rather than the kind of person others expect. Most people spend their lives chasing things outside themselves: recognition, attention, validation, perfection. They try to be everything for everyone except for themselves. But Stoicism teaches that true fulfillment does not come from the outside, it comes from within. When you live with virtue, you become grounded, you become stable, you become trustworthy to yourself. You do not need the world to approve you because your actions already do. You do not need applause because your own conscience is calm. Virtue is not about perfection. It is about alignment. Alignment between what you say and what you do. Alignment between what you believe and how you live. Alignment between the standards you admire in others and the standards you apply to yourself. When your actions and values match, there is no inner conflict, there is peace. When they do not match, there is constant tension. Because deep down you always know when you are living below your potential. Living with virtue requires courage, not the loud, dramatic courage people imagine, but the quiet courage to do the right thing even when it is inconvenient. The courage to walk away from what is easy and move toward what is right. The courage to face your weaknesses and hold yourself accountable. Many people talk about wanting a better life, but few are willing to live in a way that earns it. Virtue is not something you claim, it is something you prove through consistent choices. Discipline is one of the pillars of virtue. Discipline is the ability to govern yourself, to resist impulsive desires, to rise above distractions, to act with purpose instead of emotion. A disciplined person is free because nothing owns them. Not cravings, not habits, not laziness, not fear. Discipline is not punishment, it is self-respect. It is telling yourself, I deserve a life built on strength, not weakness. Every act of discipline builds your character like bricks forming a foundation. Over time, that foundation becomes unshakable. Integrity is another expression of virtue. It means being the same person in private as you are in public. It means not compromising your values for attention or approval. It means speaking truth even when silence would benefit you. Integrity gives you something rare in this world: reliability. People trust you. You trust yourself. No matter how chaotic life becomes, you always know where you stand. Kindness is also a form of virtue, kindness with boundaries, strength, and understanding. It is not weakness. It is not surrender. It is the ability to treat others with fairness and respect without losing yourself. A kind person is powerful because they can remain humane even when others are not. When you live with virtue, you gain a sense of inner dignity that nothing can break. Life may test you, people may fail you, circumstances may challenge you, but your values remain your compass. They guide you when you are lost. They strengthen you when you are tired. They elevate you above the chaos of the world. A better life does not come from chasing less stress or fewer problems. It comes from becoming the kind of person who faces challenges with wisdom, honesty, strength, and calmness. Virtue is not just a principle, it is a path. And the more you walk it, the more you become someone you deeply respect. That is the true reward. That is the real victory. Strength is not something you find in the world around you. Strength is something you build within yourself. This is the final Stoic principle that transforms lives. A better life does not begin when circumstances improve. It begins when your mindset improves. Most people wait for peace before they calm their minds, wait for success before they feel confident, wait for perfect conditions before taking action. But Stoicism teaches that life does not shape you. You shape life through the way you think, the way you choose, and the way you show up every single day. Everything you truly control begins inside you: your discipline, your thoughts, your perspective, your reactions, your habits, your character. This inner world is the engine that drives everything else. When your inner world is strong, outer challenges lose their power. When your inner world is weak, even small difficulties feel unbearable. This is why two people can face the same situation and experience it differently. One collapses under pressure, while the other stays calm, composed, and intentional. The difference is not the situation, it is the mind facing it. Inner strength begins with awareness. You must learn to observe your thoughts before they control you. Most people believe everything they think, without ever questioning it. A negative thought appears and they accept it as truth. A fear arises and they treat it as a warning instead of a test. A doubt surfaces and they allow it to dictate their actions. Stoicism reminds you that your mind is not the enemy, your lack of control over it is. When you watch your thoughts without becoming them, you break the chains that hold you down. Inner strength also comes from responsibility. You must accept that your life is shaped not by luck or fate, but by your decisions. Even when something happens outside your control, your reaction still belongs to you. Responsibility is not about blaming yourself, it is about empowering yourself. It means recognizing that you always have a choice, even when the situation is difficult. You can choose patience over anger, clarity over confusion, discipline over comfort, resilience over defeat. Every choice you make strengthens or weakens the person you become. Another part of inner strength is self-honesty. You cannot grow if you lie to yourself about your weaknesses, your habits, or your excuses. Stoicism encourages you to face yourself without fear. Look at where you are inconsistent. Look at where you avoid discomfort. Look at where you allow emotions to rule you. This honesty is painful at first, but it becomes the foundation of real growth. You cannot master what you refuse to confront. Strength within also comes from consistency. Anyone can be disciplined for a day. Anyone can be motivated for a moment. But inner strength is formed through repeated, deliberate action. Each day you choose to improve, even slightly, you reinforce the person you want to become. When you get up early even though you want to sleep, when you resist temptations that hold you back, when you focus on your goals instead of distractions, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your impulses. These small victories create confidence that no failure can erase. A powerful inner world also requires stillness. In silence, you hear your mind clearly. In quiet moments, you see what truly matters. Modern life is loud, filled with noise, opinions, expectations, and constant stimulation. But strength does not grow in chaos. It grows in calmness. When you learn to sit with yourself without running from your own thoughts, you gain a stability that survives every storm. Finally, inner strength gives you freedom. Freedom from overthinking, from external validation, from emotional chaos, from fear, from doubt, from the need to control everything around you. When the world becomes loud, your inner steadiness keeps you centered. When people disappoint you, your inner confidence keeps you grounded. When life becomes difficult, your inner resilience keeps you moving. A better life begins the moment you stop waiting for change and start cultivating strength from within. You don't become unshakable by changing your environment. You become unshakable by changing yourself. This is the Stoic way. Build power within, and the world outside will no longer disturb your peace.